I'm sick, but I'm here. I'm miserable. I'm completely miserable. So today, we're just getting into more and more crazy ass territory, honestly. We're going to be watching the 5 best gore. I'm sorry, 5 worst. Best. Oh no, that's terrible. 5 worst gore videos online from Disturbed Reality. I like this channel. I think this guy is respectful. I think he's thorough with his information and he has interesting content. So go ahead and check him out. I'm going to go ahead and, like I always do, put the original video in the description. So if you're too lazy, Jenna and Katie from my comment section, to go look at the link that I put in my description every single video and go watch the video yourself. That sounds like a you problem, girly pop. If you want to come in my comments and complain to me about talking during a reaction video, again, reaction video, then you can go watch something else. I'm not here to pirate videos for y'all and then be like, smash that subscribe button and say nothing. It's a reaction channel. I'm going to talk. I'm going to react. I'm going to try to make it interesting for y'all. If you don't like it, and if you're too lazy to go look up the original video, then don't complain to me. For everyone else, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the description. So if you guys want to watch the original video, it's linked. Go check him out. He's really great. I like his channel. And let's just go ahead and get to the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, let's go. Are you ready, Aggie? Come here. Do you want to say hi?
So cute. I have so much cuteness aggression with you. No, I just want to snuggle you. I love you so much. I just love you. Oh God. I love you. Where are you going? I love you.
A disclaimer, this might be upsetting for some people. I have been on Reddit for quite a while. Yeah, you stumble upon some shit on Reddit, honestly. I am going to just be kind of chatting as we go. Again, if you have a problem with that, get off my channel, go somewhere else. I work at a prison. I don't put up with it. I don't put up with bullying. I don't put up with bullying in my comments. You're not going to come on here and make a comment about how you don't like how I run my channel and I'm going to change it. That's not how that works. If you don't like it, then don't watch it. I don't care. Further ado, let's actually get to this video. It's like a 5-minute intro. Thanks, Jenna and Katie. Okay, let's go finally. Oh my God, I'm so sick.
Welcome back to Disturbed Reality. The fascination with online gore is a complex and disturbing phenomenon that underscores the darker aspects of human curiosity. In the age of the internet, where information is readily accessible, individuals may find themselves drawn to the morbid and macabre. The allure of online gore often stems from a combination of factors, including a desire for shock value, the pursuit of an adrenaline rush, or more so...
Okay, I'm going to pause it this one time. I think for me it's... I'm so scared of death. I'm terrified. I watched my dad die of cancer and I have a terminal illness. Well, it's terminal if I don't get a transplant. And yeah, it scares me. It scares me a lot. So I get it. I do get it. I think that some people just feel like they need to be desensitized because they have such a fear of the unknown, just like I do. I can handle like blood and stuff at work when I'm in my uniform and I feel, and I'm backed up by a bunch of people and I don't have to think about it and the adrenaline's going in the moment. But other than that, like outside of work, I'm a huge baby. I get queasy. I can't look at skin being broken. I can't do it. I can't do anything that's like, if it's a fake scary movie, then yeah, whatever. I don't care. Like I love Evil Dead. I was in the musical. I had fake blood all over me, but I knew that was fake, you know? The real stuff, I can't even watch that Dr. Pimple that Pimple Popper show. I can't do it. Oh God, okay. I don't know if I can make it through this video.
Curiosity about the fragility of life. The anonymity provided by the online realm may embolden individuals to explore content that would be considered taboo in a conventional setting. However, it is crucial to recognize the ethical implications and potential psychological harm associated with such fascination, as indulging in extreme and explicit content can desensitize individuals to real-world violence and contribute to a desensitized society. Without doubt, ever since starting the channel, the most reoccurring question I get is, what is the worst video that you've seen, or what are the worst videos online? Today, we discuss 5 videos in which I consider to be some of the worst on the internet. Please bear in mind, this is not a ranking video, and any video that I have covered on this channel,
I won't watch cartel videos, and I won't watch ISIS videos. And ISIS took a lot of their inspiration for their videos from the cartel. I won't. There's a level of brutality in those. I just like anytime I'm just scrolling through Reddit or Twitter and one of those pops up. Nope, I go right past it. There is like a level of cruelty there that's just disturbing, completely disturbing.
It's absolutely terrible, and I certainly would not recommend watching any of them. All entries in this video are included not necessarily on brutality alone, but how they made me feel upon watching them. There may be a second part to this video in the near future, we shall see.
Excuse me.
But nevertheless, enough chit chat. Let's get into 5 of the most gruesome, wicked, and disturbing videos online. Number 1,
fine until just now.
Miss Pac-Man. The infamous video, dubbed as Miss Pac-Man, details the final torturous moments of a Guatemalan woman named Alejandra Eco Chubb. Alejandra was a 32-year-old woman and a mother of 3 who was involved in an abusive relationship with her partner, Mario Osvaldo Tut-Ical. Mario was said to be an abusive alcoholic who would frequently beat and abuse Alejandra, so much so that allegedly her neighbours and the local community knew about the abuse, though, despite this, nothing was done in order to help Alejandra escaping her tragic situation. Mario Tut-Ical, on the evening of the 29th of October 2018, murdered his partner Alejandra in a brutal and savage attack. The population of the village of San Miguel was alerted because they heard screams coming from the house where the young woman and Mario lived. Neighbours rushed to the house, and some described the incident as horrendous and despicable. They said nothing like this had ever happened in the community, which was known for its tranquility. Villagers who rushed to the scene saw Alejandra with truly horrific injuries. In addition, she had both of her hands cut off. Villagers documented the incident with cell phones, and footage soon went viral on social media. The brutal events caused complete commotion in the area. Mario Tut-Ical fled and was eventually arrested on the 31st of October 2018 in the village of La Muñeca in Playa Grande. His goal was to escape to Mexico. Mario was actually initially caught by villagers who tried to lynch him, and he confessed that he had committed the murder of his wife because he believed that she had been unfaithful. Mario Tut-Ical had a previous wife, 7 children, and allegedly had an extramarital affair with Alejandra, with whom he had no family.
Wait a minute.
She was the mother of 3 children.
He was projecting. I bet he was cheating.
The so-called Miss Pac-Man video is incredibly graphic, harrowing, and is complete and utter nightmare fuel. The video is short, at only 1 minute and 30 seconds in length, and it shows the aftermath of the brutal attack that she suffered just moments earlier. As you play the video, the person filming, who is a local villager, is panning the camera down, focusing on a severed hand that is on the floor. In the background, you hear horrible screaming and crying from other local residents who walked in on the gruesome scene.
That's horrible.
The camera then pans down to a bed, which Alejandra is laying on, and immediately you see the severity of her injuries. Both of her hands have been cut off, and she has been struck in the face with a machete.
Oh my god!
She was hit horizontally, below her eyes, essentially on the bridge of the nose. It's so brutal that it's hard to explain, but essentially, she was struck so hard with the machete that it made her head look like Pac-Man opening his mouth.
Oh my god, oh my god,
hence
oh
the
my god,
title.
no,
Somehow,
no.
she is still alive as she lays in the bloody bed.
That's
She
even
tries to
worse.
scream, but she can't. Her eyes dart around in panic as she lets out
God.
horrific groaning sounds. They are hard to explain, but the groans almost sound similar to the noise a cat would make when fighting. You hear blood bubbles as she tries to breathe. The
making
cameraman
my stomach
continues to
hurt.
focus on her, and the combination of the visceral brutality on screen,
No.
combined with the sounds of Alejandra's pain-riddled final moments, along with the screaming villagers in the background, is completely horrific.
That sounds
To make
horrific.
matters worse, it seems that her 3 children were present when Mario Tutikal brutally attacked their mother.
Death penalty.
At one point
Death
in the
penalty.
video, Alejandra turns her head slightly as she writhes in excruciating pain.
No.
And you see how deep
He
the
shouldn't
gash
be allowed
in
to
her
live any
head
longer.
actually is. Once again, it's hard to explain, but the cut is so deep that it nearly
me,
meets
guys,
her
sorry.
ears. The entire
I'm, like,
video
really
is
sick.
utterly disgusting, gruesome, and quite frankly rage-inducing.
Death penalty.
Mario Tutikal would eventually be sentenced to 50 years in prison
Not
for
enough.
the cowardly attack.
Not enough.
And given how much controversy the case caused in Guatemala,
Not enough. Not
I
enough.
can't imagine his prison stay being pleasant.
Yeah.
The case and the video shows the brutal reality of domestic violence, which is a topic that enrages and truly gets under my skin. It's truly one of the biggest acts of complete cowardice.
Absolutely.
Number 2. The Dagestan Massacre. The Dagestan Massacre, or as it's officially known, the Tushkar Massacre, is a
Oh, this
war
makes
crime
me
caught
sad.
on camera from the Second Chechen War. The Second
that's
Chechen
terrible.
War lasted between 1999 to 2009
I remember
and
that.
was a conflict between Russian forces and separatist groups in the Chechen Republic. It began as a response to militant activities and incursions in the neighbouring Dagestan. The conflict was marked by intense urban warfare, human rights abuses, and allegations of atrocities on both sides. The Russian government declared victory in 2009, but tensions and sporadic violence persist in the region. The Tushkar massacre was
like
an
to pick on
incident
people, huh?
during the War of Dagestan, which was filmed and distributed on tape, in which Russian prisoners of war were executed. Throughout the war, Russian soldiers reported finding taped executions of Russian officers and men. Some videos were later sold as snuff movies and ended up online. One tape created in September of 1999 showed
don't like
6
anybody
Russian
losing their lives,
servicemen,
man.
one as young as 19, being executed by Chechen militants.
My dad
The
fought in
video
Vietnam when he
would
was
then
19.
make its way online during some point in the early 2000s, being dubbed the Dagestan Massacre. On the 5th of September 1999, 2 units of Chechen militants crossed into Dagestan, seizing the border village of Tushkar in the Novolavsky district. The Chechen commander leading the attack was identified as Umar Edilsultanov, a subordinate of Abdul Malik Mezidov, a commander of the Islamic Religious
I was
Police
gonna
of
say he's got a
Ichkeria.
beard like it.
Attacking very early in the morning, the Chechens found and exchanged fire with 12 Russian conscripts and 1 officer of the Kalashevsky Brigade, stationed at a police checkpoint to strengthen border security. Shortly after the fighting began, Russian operator Private Konstantin Anismov was killed, and communication was disrupted,
Look at that old Russian
and the
helicopter.
Russians had run out of ammunition. Senior Lieutenant Vasily Tashkin ordered a retreat to a second checkpoint. During a lull in the battle, local residents
Oh, he's
told Russian
cute.
soldiers that the Chechens had given them half an hour to leave the village. The villagers brought with them civilian clothing so that they could smuggle the soldiers out of the town safely.
Aw.
However, Vasily
nice of
Tashkin
them.
refused to retreat any further, and his resolve convinced others to stay as well. When the half hour was up,
War
the
is hell,
Chechen
man.
militants began to search for the Russian defenders who had been hidden by the townspeople. 6 of them barricaded themselves in a
townspeople didn't
barn,
want anyone to
but the
get hurt
Chechens
either.
surrounded it and poured gasoline on the walls, threatening to burn the structure down with them inside. The Chechen militants called for the Russians to surrender, claiming that their intent was to obtain leverage for a prisoner exchange. The Russian soldiers, most of whom were conscripts, agreed to surrender.
They got drafted.
However,
They didn't
the
even want to be
militants
there.
did not live up to their end of the bargain, and instead brutally executed all 6 on camera. The names of the victims are as follows: Vasily Tashkin, Vladimir Kaufman,
R.I.P.
Boris Erdeniev, Alexei Polagayev, Alexei Lipatov, and Alexei Paranin. The video itself is nearly 17 minutes in length, and it perfectly encapsulates the brutal reality of war. The video details the execution of all 6 soldiers, 5 of which had their throats slashed on camera, with the militants piercing their tracheas before leaving them to bleed out and asphyxiate. One of the victims actually tried to make a break for it and escape the militants. In the video, Alexei Polagayev can be seen escaping the clutches of one of his captors before trying to run into the hills. However, one of the rebels chases him and then guns him down off camera, though you hear the gunshots. Each man is systematically executed one by one, with the camera recording the entire process, from their throats being slashed to watching them bleed out, and seeing the life literally drain from their faces. Without doubt, the most harrowing part of the video is the execution of the youngest captive, Alexei Lipatov, who was only 19 years old at the time of his murder, and was a conscript in the Russian army. Conscription essentially meaning the draft. He had no choice other than to fight in the war.
He didn't want to be there.
The execution of Alexei takes several
minutes. My dad didn't want to be in
as
Vietnam
he
either, but he couldn't afford
and tries
school.
To negotiate with the militants. He begs for his life, even informing the rebels of where a weapon and ammo cache is as he points up into the mountains.
He just wanted to live.
As Alexei Lipatov is pleading for his life, this is where Alexei Polagayev tries to make a run for it, as the rebels were so focused on Lipatov. Once Polagayev is shot, they once again focus on Lipatov. The executioner initially appears hesitant to make the cut, as Lipatov begins to panic more and more. He screams for his mum as he tries to protect his throat from the blade. Lipatov fights, and he fights hard. He tries to ball up to protect himself, but the executioner, instead, continuously stabs him in the back and side of his neck, which eventually kills him.
That's hard to hear.
I will include a full transcript of the Alexei Lipatov section in the pinned comment. It truly makes for harrowing reading. Hearing his screams and final pleads as he is being stabbed is horrific. The sight of the 5 soldiers having their throats cut as the cameraman laughs and fixates on them as they bleed out is utterly depraved. From the screams to the sounds of wheezing and bubbling blood, the video is utterly shocking and, in my opinion, still one of the worst war crimes caught on camera. Number 3.
What happened to them?
3 Guys, 1
Guantanamo,
Hammer.
all of them.
3 Guys, 1 Hammer is a murder video which was recorded and perpetrated by the Dnepropetrovsk maniacs.
Oh, I think I've heard about this.
The Dnepropetrovsk maniacs are Ukrainian serial killers responsible for a string of murders in Dnepropetrovsk in June and July of 2007. The case gained additional notoriety because the killers made video recordings of some of the murders, with one of the videos leaking to the internet, which was infamously dubbed 3 Guys, 1 Hammer.
Oh my god.
In the span of just 3 weeks, 19-year-olds Igor Sobrunyuk and Viktor Sayenko killed 21 people.
That's horrible.
After a long trial on the 11th of February 2009, a court in Dnipro found Sayenko and Sobrunyuk guilty of premeditated murder and sentenced both to life imprisonment. It isn't clear as to how many murders the sadistic pair recorded, though one that was, unfortunately, leaked online. How it made its way online is still a mystery to this day, though it leaked in December of 2008 to a well-known shock site. The man whose murder is recorded in the leaked video was identified as Sergei Yatsenko. His murder took place on the 12th of July 2007, and his body was found on the 16th of July. Sergei Yatsenko was 48 years old. He had recently been forced into retirement due to a cancerous tumour in his throat.
Oh no, my dad had
esophageal cancer. The treatment left him debilitated and unable to speak for some time, But Yatsenko was unhappy with being unable to work and continued to find odd jobs around the village. He took on small construction work, repaired cars, wove baskets, and cooked for his family. At the time of his murder, Sergei had finally beaten cancer and was starting to regain his voice and recover physically. Yatsenko was also married and had 2 sons and 1 grandchild.
Oh my god, that's just like my dad, but he had 2 daughters and a grandchild.
He was a man who, despite suffering the devastating grip of cancer, continued to look out for and look after those around him, like a good father, husband, and son should. At around 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder, Sergei called his wife to say he was going to fill his motorcycle and visit his grandchildren. However, he never arrived at his grandson's house, and his cell phone was turned off by 6 p.m. His wife Ludmila called a friend and walked around the village, afraid that her husband might have fallen ill or had a motorcycle accident. They could not locate any sign of him. They also could not file a missing persons report, since in Ukraine, a person cannot be declared missing until at least 72 hours after last being seen. The next day, Ludmila posted photographs of her husband around the village and enlisted more local help to search the surrounding area. 4 days later, a local who saw one of Ludmila's posters remembered seeing an abandoned Dnieper bike in a remote wooded area by a garbage dump. He took Yatsenko's relatives to the scene, where they discovered his mutilated and decomposing body. The murderous pair ambushed Sergei as he was riding through the area. They knocked him off his bike and dragged him into the woods, where they recorded his horrific murder. The murder video is 7 minutes and 48 seconds in length and is utterly depraved. Despite not having seen the video since 2009, I remember it vividly. I was 15 at the time, and I still remember my initial reaction upon watching it. I felt sick, nauseous, and a cold sweat came over me. For days after, I couldn't get the video out of my mind, constantly thinking about Sergei's fate and how cruel the world could be. It took me some time to get over watching the video, and even now, I refuse to watch it again. In the video, both Igor and Victor torture, bludgeon, and disfigure Sergei. They smashed him in the face repeatedly with a hammer, which was concealed in a yellow plastic bag. They hit him so many times, and intermittently, the camera gets a close look at Sergei's face, and his face was
I don't believe in God, y'all.
Losing structure and caved in. His face was a red bloody pulp. I remember the laboured breathing and groans from Sergei as he appears to drift in and out of consciousness. The killers also stab him in the stomach with a screwdriver, and they also try to pluck his eyes out with the same screwdriver, jamming it into the eye socket and rattling it around.
What are those
The
weird?
dialogue
Is that the
between
sketch
the 2 killers throughout the video is also extremely disturbing. Here is a translated snippet of the discussion between the 2 killers. Sayenko shouts, hold on, bean eater, fuck, while laughing. Hold on, don't hit him, don't hit him.
That's evil.
Let's watch him. Saprunyuk, with what? With what? Sayenko,
I hope these people
He's
get
still
their,
alive. He's still moving
karma.
his arms after I ripped up his intestines. Saprunyuk, he's having a fucked up day. Sayenko, get over here fast, kill him already. Saprunyuk, what? Sayenko, kill him already. Saprunyuk replies, I already put the hammer back, he's already dead. Sayenko responds, I poked out his eyes and he's still not dead, get the knife. The video is utterly horrific, brutal, and incredibly cruel.
Makes me sad.
Every time I hear about the Dnepropetrovsk maniac's case, I always think of Sergei, a man who defeated cancer, a man who took his family responsibility seriously, even when he was battling illness. And after years of health issues, his life was once again looking to be on the up. No doubt looking forward to seeing his kids and grandkids make their own paths in life. However, that was stolen from him, and his dedicated love and care was stolen from his family. Number 4. Ghost Rider. In September of 2020, a gruesome video made the rounds which was subsequently dubbed Ghost Rider. The clip is regarded as one of the most brutal cartel videos online. and quite frankly, one of the worst gore videos in general. The gory act of torture took place near the town of Tepalcatepec in Michoacan, where CJNG have been fighting against factions of Los Viagras and Carteles Unidos. The fighting has been occurring on and off in Michoacan for several years, as CJNG continue to try to get a foothold in the state due to its strategic drug routes. Though, the local gangs and cartels have banded together to attempt to stop the invading CJNG army. Despite the might of Cartel Jalisco New Generation, to this day, they are still not the dominant force in the state, and have struggled to demoralize and defeat the local groups. The Ghost Rider video was allegedly recorded following 3 days of gun battles in the nearby town of El Aguaje, close to Tepalcatepec, in September of 2020.
I like hearing him say that.
The fighting took place one day after the Mexican military swept the area as part of a peacekeeping operation, and officials declared the area safe.
Because I
at least 20 people died in the shootouts over the course of 3 days.
It's so beautiful.
After the clashes, gunmen from CJNG captured the leader of a group of sicarios who worked with Carteles Unidos, who went by the nickname Ghost Rider.
They're really a beautiful,
I wanted to cover this clip in the video, as in my original video covering the case, I think I may have made a mistake, which I will get onto in a moment. The video itself is short, at only 1 minute and 27 seconds in length. As you play the video, you are met with utter depravity immediately. You are met with the sight of a horrifically disfigured man being held captive by multiple CJNG sicarios, and his face is literally on fire.
Go that way.
They doused his face in rubbing alcohol and set it ablaze, resulting in his face no longer resembling that of a human. His features have been completely burnt off, and his eyelids almost look as if they have been fused closed due to the sheer heat.
Yeah, maybe he fucked you out of some money, but
behind him holds the back of his shirt collar so that he faces the camera, and a man can be seen continuously dousing his face with rubbing alcohol, keeping the blaze alive. The victim screams throughout, sheer animalistic pain-filled wails which stay with you after watching. He begs the sicarios to kill him and put him out of his misery, but they refuse. Instead, they mock him, with one exclaiming, "Just like the movies, the Avenger Ghost Rider." It's also worth noting, some places claim that the torture session lasted for 3 days, and that the victim may have had his face flayed before they set his head on fire. At around 50 seconds into the video, it jump cuts. In my original video covering the clip, I assumed it was the same man, but footage taken after several more hours of torture. However, it actually appears to be a different victim.
I'll protect myself by me too, but I wouldn't just go out of my way to do that to someone, you know?
Literally looks like a red skull.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
He has no skin or hair left on his head.
Fucking weird.
The whites of his eyes look pronounced as they bulge out of his head, and his eyes dart around as the sicarios once again set his charred skull on fire. He isn't screaming, but is making only what I can describe as tired groaning sounds, like he's had enough and just wants it to be over.
That's sad.
Due to many people telling me they felt that the video actually contained 2 victims, not one as originally claimed, I did rewatch this one, and it's every bit as bad as I remember. Over the years, the clip has also attracted much speculation about the victims or victim and what they may have done prior, though no evidence backs these claims up, at least from my research. One claim in particular is that one of the victims in the video was actually involved in the Guerrero flaying. However, I just think this is baseless speculation. Regardless, Ghost Rider remains one of the worst videos on the internet, and in my opinion, is the worst video ever released by CJNG.
Oh my god.
Number 5.
It's probably saying something.
The Zacatecas Flaying. The Zacatecas Flaying is the most recently released video on this list, having been released on the 22nd of June 2023. The Zacatecas Flaying, in terms of pure brutality, in my opinion, is the worst cartel video currently online. Unlike most cartel videos, the quality of the footage is actually fairly clear, and is shot in a way
have you guys
so that
seen
you
some
see
of the
every
ISIS
gruesome
videos? They've got
detail.
like full production
The
value
flaying
on those.
was
It's
perpetrated
weird.
by Cartel del Noreste, who recently have tried to muscle in on the state of Zacatecas. Zacatecas primarily being contested
Send them
between
all to Guantanamo.
CJNG and
All
Cartel
of
de
them.
Sinaloa.
With some soldiers sitting up
Although
by him
they
like
have
this in a
limited
picture, I
influence
don't give
in
a
the
fuck.
state, their presence
People like
there
this don't
has been
deserve to be-
documented in the
Oh,
last
shit.
few months.
Sorry guys, just
The
fucked it up.
victim in the video was supposedly a member of
I
La
got too
Linea,
excited and I
a
messed up my
breakaway
computer.
faction of Juarez cartel, who are currently allied to CJNG.
People like this should not
One
be
takeaway from
in
the video
society.
is how calm the victim remained throughout his torture and
poor
murder,
guy.
leading me to believe he was likely drugged. But it
Probably.
makes for a strange juxtaposition. You're met with extreme brutality on screen, but the victim's calm demeanour throughout is eerie and unsettling, as weird as that sounds.
You might have also
The entire video is 6
checked out
minutes
from
and
shock.
17 seconds in length, and the first 17 seconds or so
only
is a
17
statement from
seconds.
Cartel del Noreste threatening rival cartels. This message goes out to the Jaliscos, Cartel del Golfo, Cartel de Sinaloa, and especially the La Linea cartel out of Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua. Keep sending more
not get
dumbasses
involved with
like this
cartel, y'all,
individual,
'cause look at the
and
shit they
this
do.
is how you will all
You don't want to end up like this guy.
The state of Zacatecas is territory that
Sad.
belongs to Cartel del Noreste. In the video, a victim is restrained and pinned to the ground. Car lights are used to light up the video. The victim is wearing a white shirt with the name of the La Linea cartel on it. After the statement is read out, the victim is forced face first onto the ground. A sicario with a combat or hunting style knife then cuts from the back of the victim's scalp and starts to deglove the victim's scalp and skin.
No,
Blood
I can't.
leaks onto
no,
the ground,
No, can't.
but the
I don't think I
sicario
can- I
cuts
don't think
in
I
an
can.
incredibly efficient manner, leading me to believe he's done this before. In a matter of seconds, the victim is almost completely scalped, and the sicario then starts to flay the skin on his face, all in one go, in one cut. All throughout, the victim barely makes a sound. He only says one thing. Once he's turned over onto his back so that the sicario can flay his face,
God.
a hitman stands on the victim's chest to hold him down, and the victim simply states in a calm manner, "Please don't step on my chest."
Oh my god.
In just 2 minutes or so, the victim's scalp and face is completely flayed. You see strands of yellow fat exposed, as well as the white of his cheekbones.
No!
His eyes still dart around,
Excuse me.
though he doesn't scream once. The killer then ends the victim's life by giving him a Colombian necktie. He slashes the victim's throat with a
No!
deep cut, and then cuts under his chin.
Ah!
Cuts around the victim's tongue
No!
and pulls it through the
No,
cut
no,
under
no,
his
no, no,
chin,
no, 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 oh,
making
God.
the tongue look like a
Oh my
tie.
god, hold on 1 second.
With the victim now dead,
Sorry, guys.
the sicario wasn't done there. He then vertically cuts down the victim's chest,
It's still going, it's
exposing
still
his
going,
organs.
it's still going, oh my
He cuts
god,
out the
it's
heart
still going.
and simply holds it up to the
I
camera
can't,
for the remainder of the video.
Kalima.
In just 3 minutes, the sicario
Kalima.
flayed the
That's all
victim's
I can think
entire
about right
head,
now is
gave him a
Temple of Doom.
Colombian necktie,
Temple of Doom,
and
Temple of
cut his
Doom.
heart out. For the remaining 3 minutes of the video, the sicario
God, what do
holds
they
the
think
heart
they
up
are,
to the camera
Molaram?
until it finally stops beating. The Zacatecas flaying perfectly encapsulates the brutality of the war on drugs. In terms of visceral gore, in my opinion, it is the worst cartel video
That
out
was hard
there
to even
right
listen
now.
to.
But the sad reality is,
There's probably gonna be
given the
more.
fact that the war on drugs is ongoing and showing no signs of slowing down, I'm sure something even worse will be released in the coming years. But anyway, that is the video. This video was not a ranking video, as I initially said, just a collection of, in my opinion, 5 of the worst videos online right now in terms of gore. There are other videos, we may do a part 2 to this in the future, but these are videos that definitely hit me in different ways
Yeah,
upon
can imagine.
watching them for the first time. In particular, Miss Pac-Man and 3 Guys 1 Hammer, those 2 videos in particular stuck with me for a long time.
That's
So yeah, a little
crazy.
piece of advice, don't watch any of these videos. But anyway, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it, if you can enjoy this sort of content.
Guantanamo.
As always, thank you
All
for
of
the
them. I don't need the
support.
cartel coming after me, but Guantanamo, sorry. I just don't understand how people can do that to other people. I just don't understand them to record it so their family has to see it. It's like, yeah, I get when people, like, slight you. I get, like, being mad about it. But, like, to do all of that is just, like, you have to have something in you or something turned off inside of you to make you do that to another human being. You know, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know. I don't know. That's sad. That's really sad. I really feel bad for all the people, the victims in these videos, because, you know, it sounds like, I mean, most of them didn't even fucking ask for it. I mean, nobody asked to be treated like that, you know, but I'm just saying, like, it wasn't like they were, like, child touchers or anything like that. It was, you know, some soldiers and, you know, a guy who had just beat cancer. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, I think those people, I don't know if I believe in hell. I don't know if I believe in God, but I definitely think that something has to be, they've got to learn some kind of lesson after doing that to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's something that they're going to encounter once they go on to the other side that they're going to really regret everything they did in this life. And hopefully they can be reincarnated as like a bug or something. Anyway, I need to go take some cold medicine. If you guys like that video, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and let me know what else you'd like to watch. I've actually really enjoying everyone's comments. Thank you for commenting and leaving nice comments. There have been a couple people who have been kind of rude, but whatever. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I work in a prison. Like, I don't really care. But yeah, if you guys have any more suggestions, just let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, I love you. Bye.